Good morning. It's 7:03 on this Friday, July 12th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. It is a Friday morning, and the sun is shining. Going to be another nice summer day. We're glad to have you with us, and we're glad to be on the air for Wilson Bank and Trust. This morning, Jim Watley joins us. Jim is part of the investment team. He's a financial advisor for Wilson Bank and Trust and comes periodically to talk about what he's doing. Good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
And you are still singing, but that's not your official capacity today.
Right. Most of my time is spent down in the Mount Juliet branch handling investment for Wilson Bank clients and customers. And, of course, we have a full investment team. I think we're up to 9 advisors now.
Started out with one.
Yes, started out with one. That's exactly right. This morning, I kind of want to mention a couple of things. First off, over for our listeners over in Mount Juliet, we are sponsoring the Coffee with a Cop event that is, I guess, goes on monthly out there in Mount Juliet. It's a chance to meet local law enforcement, Chief Hambrick and his team. And we'll have it there in the North Mount Juliet office. That's on Friday, the 19th. July 19th, from 7 to 9 in the morning.
Come on in. Next week.
Be next Friday, yep, a week from today. Come on in, have some coffee, meet local law enforcement. We'll have our man on campus, Elvis Huff, out there with Scott Jasper, and we'll enjoy some refreshments and coffee with local law enforcement.
Well, that's a nice thing. Your bank personnel, you get to sponsor this, provide the coffee and refreshments, and then get to meet the people that come to have coffee with a cop.
It's a great event. I guess the city started it. We just stepped in there and asked if we could host one, and Janice Sternberger over there in the Mount Juliet office kind of got that going. So we're excited. It'll be a good time, just something else that we can kind of plug in and help serve the community.
Sure. What else you got?
Well, of course, in the investment department, I just thought I'd update on markets a little bit. Of course, stocks are doing well. We are in the camp where we think there's going to be continued kind of slow grind growth. We really don't see a recession in sight. And so for that reason, kind of in this low rate environment, we do think stocks will continue to outperform the fixed rates, which is not difficult to do right now. Our target coming into the year for the S&P was 3150. And that's still about 5% away, but certainly could happen here in the second half of the year. We think things will calm down volatility-wise, and we'll finish the year strong. Speaking of fixed rates, they have dropped, which coming into the year we did not expect.
Right.
So that probably has been the cause of some of the volatility in stocks. But at any rate, they are back below. If you're talking about high-quality bonds or CDs, they're back below 2. And so we just want listeners to know they can come see your local investment advisor, go into your local Wilson Bank and ask for an investment advisor. And we do have choices and options, alternatives that they can look at that really have great odds of beating 2. And some of those do have assurances of principal. So it's something to definitely consider in this environment. 2 is below the rate of inflation. So you really, the whole purpose of investing in the first place is to try to beat the rate of inflation. And so if you're looking for alternatives, you don't want to step out into stocks, we definitely have some things we can talk to you about. So,
try, I guess, as much as you can, try to have something for every investor, whether they are bold or rather timid.
Absolutely. By definition, we mostly work with conservative folks, within the bank. But through Raymond James Financial, we are able to remain independent, which is, of course, a theme of the bank itself. And in that independence, it's our ability to go out into the investment universe and pick the right investment, right recommendation for each client we talk to. There are no restrictions or incentives for us to do any different.
Well, how long have you been doing this yourself?
So I joined the bank in 99, but I was licensed in 1987. So
were you the second one to come along in the investment department?
I think I was there were a few pieces moving in and out, but as far as long term, I guess I was probably the third or fourth.
Well,
yeah.
Anyway, you've got your feet wet, as we say. You're familiar with what you do. Made a lot of friends, no doubt. Helped a lot of people achieve their financial goals, and that's got to be rewarding.
It's very rewarding. I was very fortunate just in my career to find Wilson Bank and Trust, and so in that sense, it has been a great time, and we really excited about the future of the bank as well.
Anything else you got for us?
No, sir. That's about it. We appreciate you letting us come on.
We appreciate you being here each time, and I'm glad. I mean, we get a cross section of the employees and departments and activity of Wilson Bank and Trust, and of course, the investment department is certainly one of those, and from time to time, one of you comes, so that's great too.
That's good, and I guess as part of that, we'll also go ahead and just give our disclosure that, of course, when we're talking about investments, those do not have FDIC insurance. Possible loss of principal exists, give or take what we're discussing.
Right, and not guaranteed. You could lose, but anyway, we thank you for being here, and we always close by saying Wilson Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender, still here, still independent, still committed to you. Excellence in banking since 1987.
Thank you, Coleman.
Jim Wadley. 10 minutes after the hour, I have a special guest this morning, and well, he's special in a way. It's been a long time since he's been here, and he is a member of the County Commission. He is the principal of Southside School, Mr. Wendell Marlowe. Wendell, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I don't necessarily remember the last time you were here. It could possibly have been when you were part of a political campaign. Do you remember?
Yes, sir, I think it was. I think I was running for
school superintendent.
I think, that was a long time ago. So we don't even do that anymore.
No, it's director of schools now and appointed.
Yes, sir, by the school board.
It has been a while. Steve Malone was here that day. Is that when, who won? Did Kip win that?
Yeah, Mr. Prayer won that one.
Okay.
Beat me by 100 votes exactly.
Well, I didn't bring you here necessarily to reminisce, but I do remember that. And the first time I guess I ever met you, I'm thinking you were the principal at Lakeview.
Yes, sir.
You were there for a long time.
22 years.
And moved over, to West Wilson?
West Wilson for 11 years.
Mm-hmm. And last year took over at Southside.
Yes, sir.
What's it been like at Southside for a year?
Southside's been a real different experience for me because it's a combination of both elementary and middle school age children, and I'd been at the middle school for a while and an elementary school for a while, but this is a combination, and it has its own set of problems and that you have to deal with, but it has been very good for me. I cannot express how well I've been treated at Southside. These people have really been nice to me, and they appreciate me being there. Therefore, I appreciate being there.
Well, at some point in time, you ran for county commission. You represent District 22. How long have you been there?
I've been there for 2 terms, and before that, I was represented District 1 for about 12 years.
Well, you've been on the county commission honestly longer than I realized. But
yes, sir.
You've seen a lot of change in.
Yes, sir. I have. It's been a lot different in the last. I've been on there for close to over 20 years now, and yes, sir. There's been a lot of changes in the last 20 years.
Well, I want us to mainly talk about the county commission and the budget committee and so on, but in a couple of minutes we're going to take a break. So let's kind of continue on education right now for a couple of minutes, and what you've got I guess I started to say a month, but no, you got about half a month before school starts.
Yes, sir. It will not be long. The principals start full time, in fact, Monday, and then the August the 1st is when our students start coming in.
What do you do to get ready for school?
It's an unending list, but the main thing that I'm trying to do is make sure I have classroom teachers for all our students when they get there. Of course, I already have 12 new people coming in over the summer. I've had to interview and hire people, and found out yesterday that I've got another one to hire. So when I leave here, I'm going to go to start looking for another teacher.
Well, it's amazing in a way that you've been principal of the school and a county commissioner all this time. I would think you've got a pretty busy plate, full plate.
Yes, sir, I do, but I enjoy it very much because of my own upbringing. My dad was very much involved in community service, and it just stuck to me as well, and I enjoy serving people.
Well, we're, again, glad to have you here today, and we're going to take a break right here. We'll come back. I know you've had a number of budget committee meetings. Different people have come to you and given the budgets they prepared, I guess, which now y'all have got to vote up or down. We'll get into all that when we come back, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Wendell Marlowe, my guest. This is Coleman & Company, FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:14. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Bates Ford. Regular oil change, best price around $28.95, includes 5 quarts of oil plus tax and disposal. Bates Ford, 1673 West Main. Now in traffic, here's AJ.
A wreck in Madison on the Briley Parkway west on-ramp to Gallatin Pike, and one on Old Hickory Boulevard in West Nashville in front of the Mapco Mart. Still clearing an accident on I-40 West at the West Loop near 28th Avenue, and I-65 South at West Trinity Lane, blocking the right shoulder and right lane. It's better to know them than not know them. Free at last bail bonding. Call 615-242-FREE. I'm AJ Rose with your on-time traffic.
Hey, Mom, I just love helping to make our customers' dreams come true.
Yes, Medina, I agree. Our job is real estate, but our business is building relationships.
We want to understand what real estate needs you are really looking for.
Yes, and after the deal is done, we will always be there in the future when you need us.
Serving the Middle Tennessee area for over 25 years. Don't make a move without us.
Call Judy Cox or Medina Himmenthaler at Exit Rocky Top Realty. C&D Team, 443-3130.
Now you can get a great-looking cut in less time every time with an Exmark. The Mowers Landscape Pros trust 2-to-1 over the next best-selling brand of mowers. Right now, step up to Exmark with their newly redesigned Quest Zero-Turn Riders, the Exmark Radius, or go pro with the Exmark Laser Z, the most respected zero-turn mower in the business. Check them out today at Absolute Kubota, 1325 West Main Street in Lebanon. Exmark, ready to work for you.
Coleman & Company, thanks for joining us, and our thanks to County Commissioner and Principal Wendell Marlowe for taking time to be with us this morning. But you now represent District 22. I guess that means either the district changed or you moved. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I moved.
How long have you been on the Budget Committee?
I was on the Budget Committee for a while earlier in my career. Got off for a little while, but this is this is only my third year to be on the Budget Committee in a row. So, and of course, that is elected every year.
All right. Now, you've had those committee meetings. I know some of them were on our local television, Channel 198. I watched a couple of nights there. You have the different department heads come in and present their budgets and so on. But now, what all is, if you will, you're not the chairman. I believe Gary Keith is chairman.
Yes, sir.
And but you are a member, as you said, have been. And it's you do it each year, elected each year to be on that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Has this year been any different really from other times? Are there special things that's going to make this more difficult budget?
Well, throughout the year, it has been a very smooth year. We're very fortunate, and but of course, budget time always brings a different aspect to the budget committee life. And we've had the opportunity to sit and listen to numerous committees and departments requesting different amounts of money for various things. Of course, some departments handed us a status quo budget and didn't ask for anything, and which that's greatly appreciated. But of course, with Wilson County being one of the fastest growing counties in the state of Tennessee, there's always going to be things that we're going to have to address at budget time.
When will the decisions be made? I mean, you make recommendations, I believe, as a committee, and that goes to the 25 commissioners. Is that right?
Yes, sir. We've met with all the departments now. We will 6 o'clock on Monday. We will meet with Education Committee one more time or the Board of Education representative one more time for them to represent the school system and give us their final recommendations. And then after that, we've accepted all the different budgets from all the committees and departments except the schools, and we'll do that Monday. And then we'll have numerous meetings to discuss all the requests, what we can do, what we cannot do, and try to meet some of these recommendations without raising taxes in Wilson County.
But is it safe to assume that there's going to be some cuts, that everybody's not going to get all they want?
Oh, that's obvious. Yes, sir. There's one or two departments that's asked for so little that they'll probably get what they've asked for, but there's other departments that have asked for quite a bit. And this, for us to utilize just our growth money from one year to the next, there's no way that each department can get everything they want.
Well, now, being an educator by profession here, there's some people who might even suggest, and probably have, that there's a conflict of interest with you. But are you able to look at this thing in a total objective matter, understanding the sheriff's got his needs, WEMA's got their needs, everybody else has, and be fairly objective?
Yes, sir, I believe I am, because we have other individuals on the county court that also serve on as sheriff's department and other departments in the county, fire department. And I think we all, when it comes down to it, we all have the ability to look at the needs of the entire county and put that above our personal wishes at times. Of course, I'd like to see our education department funded fully, but that's just not always possible.
It kind of comes down to crunch time, and nobody really wants a tax increase, especially a property tax increase. Sometimes they're necessary, but as you see things right now, do you think we can probably survive this year without one?
Well, that's our goal. We're looking at using our growth money at all different levels. With all the different departments, we feel like we can start a new year without a tax increase. But it's going to be tough in the future because there's some things coming online, whether it be a new school that's going to be, there's a new high school in the west end of the county that's going to have to open next year. We're looking at a jail that's going to have to be built. And those things, growth money is not going to be able to pay for all of that. Mm-hmm. So hopefully we can go one more year without having a tax increase. But unless something changes with funds coming from other areas, that's probably likely in the future.
Mm-hmm. Well, You've said the word growth several times. We are dealing with growth and have been for a while, and I don't think it's slowed down really.
No, sir, it hasn't. And sometimes I wish our cities would tell some of these home construction people no every once in a while. because we're growing faster, and there's more people moving into Wilson County than we can really keep up with providing the services for them at this point in time.
Really, we just hadn't hardly been able to build schools fast enough for the growth. And then, of course, all the other that goes with that. You get more people. The sheriff gets more calls. WEMA gets more calls. Services that are provided expand with the growth. And it seems like a never-ending thing to deal with.
Yes, sir. You're exactly right. And it would be great if growth could slow down just a little bit where we could catch up.
What are you privileged to any future predictions as to do you think we're going to have the type growth we have now on for the unforeseeable future, or is there a point out there where it's going to end or to maybe not end but slow down?
Not in the near future, no, sir. Because of our economy right now, it's not bad right now. So people are continuing to move into this area because this is an attractive area of Tennessee, and there's a lot of folks coming in, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. So different departments in the county government are probably going to continue to struggle to keep up for quite a while.
Well, I tell you, I can't blame them for wanting to live here. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. But,
right.
I see several places I've passed by, even on the way to work or around town, where there was one house. It's been torn down, and they're building two or three. We've got I don't know how many developments that we hear of that are coming on, and I mean maybe hundreds of people going to be in those. Well, everywhere you got a roof, there's potential school student.
Yeah, usually two, at least two, and and along with that comes the need for a different WEMA and for law enforcement, road department. It's kind of like a domino effect. It's not just the schools, but it affects a lot of different departments in Wilson County, and trying to keep up sometimes is tough.
Well, what about our adequate facilities tax? I think that's what it's still called, and
yes, sir.
There's an amount of money that has to be paid when you build a house, as I understand it.
Yes, sir. And that is still in place, and that is one area that we're always looking for different places to find funds for running county government, and that is something that is being looked at this point in time to possibly raise that to a different level. But we're going to have to study that, and we don't want to. We wouldn't mind slowing down growth a little bit, but we don't want to stop it. Mm-hmm. So we need to make some good choices in how we determine what to do with that.
Well, that is something that the county commission would initiate.
Yes, sir.
Do you have to have state approval to do that?
Well, there is some state guidelines that determine whatever amount we come up with, it has to be designated in a certain way.
Okay, but that's something within their guidelines you can raise that if the commission votes to.
Right. If we follow their guidelines, yes, sir.
The other thing would be a sales tax increase, but the people have to vote that in a referendum, I believe.
Yes, sir. That is correct, and that is something we've tried that a couple of times. Mm-hmm. More than a couple, and it's probably going to be tried again. It would be something real good for Wilson County if we could do that, because so many people come through Wilson County as guests and travelers, and plus that is a much more fair tax than property tax.
Well, let me just throw this out here. Let's just say that we do have a sales tax referendum, and the people do vote to increase that a half cent, which would be instead of 9 1/4, 9.75, and then that we do increase the adequate facilities tax a little bit here to maybe discourage growth a little bit. Is there any way that those two might offset a property tax increase next year?
I think there's a good possibility for that. Yes, sir. I'm not going to say 100%, but I think that would be a very good possibility.
Well, from what you hear from your constituents and the general public, would you think that the people would maybe accept that, be more readily acceptable to those two increases rather than a property tax increase?
Yes, sir, I do. But one of the things that we're going to have to do as a county government is to educate the people. And I don't think we did a very good job of that the last time. And we need to help the people understand what this could mean for Wilson County versus a property tax increase.
Mm-hmm. We've got a minute left here, and I'm going to kind of just let you say anything you want to, either about government, county government, or education here as we close out this morning. Thank you for being with us.
Well, I appreciate you asking. Of course, I've been involved with Wilson County now for 41 years. I came here straight out of Trevecca College, and this is the only place I ever interviewed, and interviewed twice and got a job at a school that's used to be Mount Junior High, which it's not that anymore. But I've thoroughly enjoyed being in Wilson County, being involved in county government and being involved with the school system. Of course, after 41 years, I'm looking forward to retirement somewhere down the line, but not yet.
Like George Jones, I ain't ready yet.
I still enjoy what I do. I really like fighting for kids and teachers, and I want to continue that for as long as I enjoy it. I'm going to continue.
Well, again, thanks for being with us today. We appreciate you very much, and we wish you well, whatever your future holds.
Well, thank you very much.
That is part one of Coleman and Company. Hope you'll keep it here for more. FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:31. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Absolute Kubota and Rental. Large inventory of new and used Kubota mowers, RTVs, tractors, hay equipment, and more. Come in Saturday. Free popcorn. Check out the new Kubota products. 1325 West Main. Now at traffic, here's AJ.
A collision on 24 westbound between Murfreesboro Pike and the I-40 split in South Nashville. Still clearing that wreck at the Mapco Mart on Old Hickory Boulevard in West Nashville. And the Briley Parkway collision on the west on-ramp to Gallatin Pike in Madison. I-65 may have its wreckage cleared, but it's still very slow from Dickerson Pike all the way to the North Loop. Hungry for authentic Nashville hot chicken? Download the Prince's Hot Chicken app and get $2 off your next order. I'm AJ Rose with your on-time traffic.
She's taken care of you your whole life. Now it's your turn to take care of her. But with a family of your own and other responsibilities, there just aren't enough hours in the day. That's why it might be time to call the Pavilion Senior Living. From bathing, dressing, housekeeping, and meals, the Pavilion Senior Living is committed to being senior living you can trust for your loved one. Find out more at pavilionseniorliving.com or call 444-5556. That's 444-5556.
Someday you may wake up and think, I'm running out of time to do something about retirement. Waypoint Financial Partners can help you do something now that may provide a solid future for you and your family. Waypoint, your future, your way. For more information, call the Lebanon office of Waypoint Financial Partners at 615-444-6548. Securities and investment advisory services offered through Axer Advisors, LLC, 212-314-4600. Member FINRA, SIPC.
Happy Friday. More good news. We'll have lots of sunshine to round out your work week. Those sunny skies will warm highs to right around the 90-degree mark this afternoon. Now, if you're planning on getting out to kick off your weekend tonight, no problems in the weather department. We'll see mainly clear skies with lows falling to right around 70. Scattered storms are back in the picture for your Saturday. That's your forecast. I'm meteorologist Nisa Lomax.
Coleman and Company, welcome to part two. It is a Friday morning. Friday mornings at this time we talk about the C&D team of Exit Rocky Top Realty. And somebody always shows up. We've got two beautiful ladies with us this morning.
I guess you're talking about me.
We're talking about Miss Judy and Medina, of course. And we welcome you. They are part of the they are part of the C&D team, two main ones, I think. But anyway, you have the same people, the same great service that you had when it was called C&D Realty, now to Exit Rocky Top Realty. Same location there on West Main Street. And what is it you always say, Medina?
Don't make a move without us.
All right.
She came up with that. I didn't. That's her little slogan.
Well, good to see you both.
Good to be
Mike's
here.
doing okay?
He's doing good. He's busy this morning.
Yeah.
Thought he was going to get to come out with us, but something else came up, so he had to go do it.
You got listings you want to talk about?
Yes, sir. We've got 2 open houses this weekend. And I wanted to say thank you for bringing the tractor by to our office for the great giveaway. We've enjoyed the tractor and had fun with it. So,
well, I didn't bring it by. My time is coming up. Odell and I will be doing the last half of July.
Okay, well, they've had it sit in front of our office for several days.
You remember which one it is?
It's orange. It's a tractor.
Well, there are 3 of them. One of them is green, and I think the other 2 are orange. I haven't seen them, so I don't know. But anyway,
you'll have to look on Facebook. We put a video on there.
You have been C&D Realty and C&D team and all. Y'all been great with the great giveaway all these years, and we certainly appreciate that. And of course, you have people who come every day to get those free tickets.
They are. We put a video on Facebook yesterday. We were trying to make a video on the tractor, which was that was a hoot in itself. Every time I was videoing my dad, and every time she'd get almost through her spiel, somebody would come by and blow the horn, sit on the horn. And then there was a couple of cars came by just gunning the motor. So we had to keep starting all over. The wind was blowing. So we had fun doing it anyway. But we do want people to come by and get their free tickets. You can get up to 5 a day. Right. And we have some people that just come every day, same time, almost to the minute every day.
Yeah.
So
they probably have a route they run.
That's right.
Probably so. You're probably right.
But last year we had a couple that, won some money from our place. So,
yeah, good.
So it's a good thing. So people need to come by and enjoy the great giveaway.
Did I interrupt your open house thing?
Oh, no. I think I interrupted my own self. Can you do that? But anyway, we've got 2 open houses Sunday, and I'm going to talk about the one that's on Edens Road. And if you don't know where that is, if you go down Franklin Road 2 miles, it's a dead-end road that's to the right. So you're 2 miles from the interstate. But it's like a mini farm. It's 7.16 acres. And it has a big pond, a beautiful pond. The property's all fenced, and it's all cleaned off. It's cleared where you can look out over the 7 acres. It has a barn with 4 stalls in it. So if you want horses, you can have horses there. They don't have horses at this time, but you could. The house is 2,300 square feet, 3 bedroom, 2 bath. It's an open floor plan with the living room and the dining room and kitchen all open. And it is a split bedroom plan where the master's on one end and the other 2 bedrooms on the other end. It has a big master suite bath with walk-in closets. Has a large laundry room, and all the bedrooms are very large also. And it has a screened-in back porch and then a covered back porch. It's a beautiful piece of property. And his 2-car garage is heated and cooled. So for you guys, he works on cars a lot, classic cars. So his garage is his baby there. And it's just a great piece of property. And that one is $489, and it'll be open from 2 to 4 on Sunday.
Okay.
And I'll let Medina talk about the other open house.
You got one too?
I got one too.
Right.
It's at Hancock Place. It's off of Horn Springs Road. West Clay Drive is the actual street name. But it's on the corner of West Clay Drive and Horn Springs Road. And it is 2401 West Clay Drive. It's 3 beds, 2 baths, a little bit over 4,500 square feet. It has a very private backyard. It's a corner lot. It's a fenced-in backyard, and the backyard is very private. They have planted trees where they've got mature now, and so even though you're in the city, you don't feel like you're in the city, and you don't feel like you're watching your neighbor, and you can't, you don't have to send butter to your neighbor. You don't reach the next house.
Uh-huh.
But it's upstairs. It has a 2-story plan, 2-floor plan, and it's a split floor plan with the master's on one end and the bedrooms on the other end. It has very open floor plan. The formal dining room, the kitchen, the living room are all open. You have a bonus room above the garage. It's a 2-car garage. But it's got the tile, the carpet, the hardwood, everything you'd want. It's empty. It's vacant. It's ready for a new owner. The current owners have already moved out into another house, so they are ready for this one to move on. So it's listed at $539,900. And I'm going to be there from Sunday from 2 to 4.
Sunday afternoon, 2 to 4?
2 to 4, $539,900 at 2401 West Clay Drive. It's 3 beds, 2 full baths, and 2 half baths.
All right. Well, is this a little bit unusual for each of you to have your own open house on a Sunday afternoon?
Well, usually we do it together or whatever, but the bottom line is what happens now is like we got 2 people wanting them the same weekend. And so, we've got several scheduled all the way through the fair, and the 2 weekends of the fair kind of, we have to pinch hit there. So we're trying to double up to get them all in before school goes back.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that sounds like two great opportunities here.
Yes, it is. So if you want to be in the city but not feel like it, come to mine at West Clay Drive on Sunday. And then if you like a farm off Franklin Road close to the interstate, go see Miss Judy.
That's right.
Okay. Well, what else you got this morning? You need listings.
Oh, yes.
Always.
It's still time to list because there's people still trying to find houses now before school starts. We start a little earlier than some areas. Some of them don't start, and your college kids normally don't start till September. So you got an extra month there of people moving in here. We've got several people that's wanting to buy a house that their kids are going to go to Cumberland. And they want to buy a house for 4 years so that their kid can live in that while they go to school, and then we'll turn around and sell it for them. So if you've got a house that you'd like to list anywhere close to Cumberland University area, we're always looking for those also. But it's just, we need listings because there's people moving in here, and even though the inventory is better than it was 8 or 9 months ago, it's still the ratio is not there yet.
All right. Well, y'all have a great week, and we'll, if all goes well, we'll do it again next Friday about this time.
All righty. Don't forget. Don't make a move without us.
All right. Great way to end it this morning. Medina and Miss Judy exit Rocky Top Realty, the C&D team. They are people you can trust. We're 20 minutes before the hour, and my guest is here this morning. We're gonna have a nice conversation with a lady named Jessica Dodds Davis. Good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
Nice to see you again.
It's good to see you.
And how you been?
I've been good.
Well, what have you been doing?
A little bit of everything. Yeah, got my hands in a lot of different projects right now.
I think I've got it right. My memory is correct here. Weren't you here with a book not too long ago?
A book?
Do you write a book?
No, I
didn't. You didn't
write
write
a
a book.
No.
All right. Well, all right. You've done other things.
I've done
among
other things.
Among them,
Yeah.
honeybees, which
Honeybees.
is what we're going to talk about anyway.
Yeah.
Forget the book. You going to write a book on honeybees one day?
You know, that's funny you say that because I actually had the conversation with my dad about writing a children's book about honeybees. So hopefully in a couple years, that's one of my goals.
Okay. Well, tell us a little bit about you. You have been here on the program before.
I have. I came in for CASA because I do hair. So that's my day job. And we did cuts for CASA a couple of years ago. So I was here for that.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah,
Yep.
I remember that.
Yep.
Okay.
Go ahead.
How did you get into beekeeping?
I got into beekeeping from the Wilson County Fair. So if you don't go to the Wilson County Fair and you live in this town, we'll talk about you. But I was at the fair and was in the Veterans Building, saw the Wilson County Beekeepers Association. They had their observation hive. The president, Carrie, was there, and Petra. Great people. And I guess I had that look of really like, wow, this is pretty neat. And so they offer a short course class in the fall it's a 3-day class to kind of see, you can take if this is something you're really interested in. They explain all in detail of what beekeeping is. So I took that class and called my dad. I was like, I'm becoming a beekeeper. And he was like, okay, that's interesting. And I got hooked. And I've developed this huge passion for it. And selling my honey at local festivals like the Oktoberfest, I really noticed that people didn't have the knowledge about how important honeybees were. And so that's what prompted me to start the nonprofit, Honeybee Tennessee.
All right. Are you more interested in the bees or the honey?
I'm more interested in the bees, the well-being of the bees. But let me tell you, getting honey is a huge perk. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, how long? When did this start?
I've been beekeeping 5 or 6 years now.
Oh, that long. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
yeah.
you know all about it by now then.
A little bit. I've got some mentors that have been beekeeping since like the 70s. So the knowledge that they have is phenomenal.
How big an organization, if you know, is the Wilson County Beekeepers Association?
The Wilson County Beekeepers Association is one of the largest beekeeper association in the state of Tennessee. So we have the Tennessee Beekeepers Association that kind of hubs all the local county associations. And Wilson County is one of the largest. I'm the vice president of the association, and I'm also the regional vice president for the TBA association for the Middle Tennessee area. But Wilson County, it's huge. There's a lot of beekeepers here.
Well, now we've heard we've heard of I guess diseases, problems with bees, and that I think that people don't realize how important they are to vegetation. If we didn't have the bees, we wouldn't have the pollination, I guess.
Right.
And you talk a little about that.
I mean, the last I checked, we all like to eat, you know, and I challenge people, like when you go to sit down at dinner, lunch, wherever, look at your plate and kind of think what on your plate was pollinated by a honeybee. You know, corn's not pollinated by a honeybee, it's wind pollinated, but pretty much all your fruit and vegetables are, and this is a huge time for farmers. And if we don't have honeybees to pollinate those blooms, the production of fruit and vegetables is not going to be there. So you got to think, if we have a decline in bees or even other pollinators, there's going to be a huge decline in food, and we're all get hangry, and that's no good.
Yeah. So they play such an important role in the lives of everyone.
Of everyone.
In keeping the pollination going.
Yes.
And is there a shortage of bees now?
Yes and no. I mean, there's a shortage because it's hard to keep bees alive. It's a very challenging hobby. It's a very expensive hobby. We're constantly fighting hive beetles, varroa mite, tracheal mites. Luckily, we've got one of the best in UT Knoxville facilities, Dr. Jennifer Saruta, who is always challenging beekeepers to send in bees if something happens so they can test them. You know, was it the mite that killed him, or was it a pesticide that killed him? You know, and so we can make correct assumptions on why we are losing honeybees in the state of Tennessee.
Well, there's a lot of more questions I want to ask you. We'll go to a break right here, but let's do that. Jennifer Dodds Davis is my guest. We'll continue our discussion in a moment here on Coleman & Company, FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:46. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Bates Ford. And they've got the Works Vehicle Checkup, tire rotation, safety check, 5 quarts of oil, tax and disposal, $39.95. Bates Ford, 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's AJ.
A crash in Midtown blocking part of the right-of-way to West End Avenue on 18th Avenue North. That's between the Golden Coast Restaurant and a loft. Still clearing a wreck on 24 West between Murfreesboro Pike and the Eastern Split in South Nashville, as well as that crash in Madison on Briley at the on-ramp to Gallatin Pike. Smashville Moving Company. Packing, loading, unloading, no job is too big. SmashvilleMovingCompany.com. I'm AJ Rose with your on-time traffic.
At Wilson Bank and Trust, financing a new home isn't just about buying bricks and mortar. It's more like helping a neighbor build and grow in life, and you won't find anyone better equipped for that job than a friendly expert who's right down the street. Whether you're looking at new construction or a home equity line of credit, Wilson Bank and Trust will work with you on a home loan that's closer to home. Visit Wilson Bank and Trust online or in person when you're ready to take your next step in life, and you'll be glad you did. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Gregory Dental in Lebanon is a family dental practice located across from University Medical Center. They offer cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and now featuring new digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments. No insurance, no problem. Call about our discount plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on a compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs. I look forward to meeting you.
Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322, West Medora Parkway, across from Gibbs Pharmacy.
Coleman and Company here on a Friday. We have Jessica Dots Taylor. Sorry.
That's okay.
I'll have to give a little credit here. I guess I got an idea to have you on from a magazine article. I believe it's called East of the City, and Tracy Hackett did a story about you, and there's a picture here of you doing the bees, and you are so covered up. You could pass for almost anything.
Yeah, alien, hazmat. Yeah, that's kind of what beekeepers look like.
Does it take that for you to do the honey thing?
Yes, I'm actually allergic to bee stings. I did not know that going in, so that's. But honeybees are not aggressive. You know, they don't purposely come and sting you. Uh-huh. I kind of say they're obsessive compulsive hoarders. They want to go out to a flower, they want to collect pollen and nectar, and they want to bring that back. They don't care about you. Mm-hmm. And so when you're walking by and you see them on a holly bush or some flowers, you can get pretty close and observe them. Once again, they don't care about you. They're there to get and bring it back. That's their goal. But I am allergic, so when you do harvest honey from them, they get a little irritated. Oh. You can imagine. If somebody came in and raided your pantry and ate your fruit snacks, you'd probably get a little upset too. So when I do harvest the honey, they get a little crazy. So I fully suited, I smoke them, I take precautions.
Uh-huh. How much of your time is involved with this? I mean, this is not your total occupation, is it?
No, this is not my occupation. I work here in Lebanon at Trends on the Square doing hair. Mm-hmm. This is a hobby. The summertime, it takes up more. That's their big honey production time. You've got to really watch them, add boxes to the hive as they need space to store honey. The winter is not as bad. I check them maybe once a month, but you won't open the hive in the winter because it's cold and they're trying to maintain a temperature inside. So I would just go outside and observe it, make sure that they are coming out. They'll come out if any dead bees in the hive, they'll remove them and bring them out. They're very clean. They don't use the bathroom in a hive. There's a fun fact. So they do a cleansing flight. So that's kind of what I do in the winter time. But the spring, summer is when they're rocking and rolling, and I've got to be on my A game.
How much time you spend, say, in a week in the summer? Is it something you do every day?
No. If I had multiple hives, like my mentor's got around 200 hives. He's busy, every day. I'm not busy every day. I've got a few hives at my house. I check them once a week at least to see what they're doing. Right now, it's kind of slowing down because honey's being harvested right now, so it's slowed down. But early spring, they were getting checked on about twice a week.
Well, how often do you put this suit on and raid the hive, so to speak, collect the honey?
Beekeepers typically harvest in this area once a year, and that's in July.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you mean any honey that you might have in January or April next year was taken in July?
Yes.
And so, well, how do you anticipate the amount you're going to have?
You don't. That's everybody always. That's the big, $1 million question. How much honey do you get? I'm like, yeah, it just depends. Was the hive strong? Was it weak? Were they a newer hive? Were they an older hive? Established hive. Some beehives, they can produce gallons, like 5 gallons, 6 gallons, 10 gallons. Other weak hives maybe only produce 1 gallon, but we still have to leave some honey on the hive because that's what they eat. That's their food source, what they eat through the winter. They just produce a lot of it, which gives us the opportunity to harvest some.
I think I read somewhere that honey doesn't go bad.
Right.
Now I know in a jar it can
crystallize.
Yeah, and you have to heat it up, maybe
Right.
in water or something but it's good for forever.
It'll be good after long. You and I are off this earth. You could still find a jar of honey, and it will be good.
That's amazing in itself. I don't know of anything else that's like that. Maybe there is, but
Not that I know of. It's honey goes back. There's record of it in the Bible.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's record of it in the Egyptian tombs. They found honey in the Egyptian tombs. So it's a very old product. It's not a new product, and it's used for multiple things. People have used honey as a topical antiseptic. Like before Neosporin was around, people would put honey because honey's antimicrobial and antibacterial. So it will help a wound heal. So that was an option for people, Indians, to use. If they got cut, they would put honey on it.
well, I can tell you've learned a lot about it in the years you've been doing this. This is this more a hobby, or is it a part occupation? How would you describe
The beekeeping part is a hobby. The Honeybee Tennessee nonprofit educating people is an occupation. That's what I love. Going out and educating people, whether it be at the Kiwanis Club or the kindergarten class at the local elementary school. I will teach anybody from A to Z about honeybees.
Well, and probably that education is needed. I remember when I was very little, I'm guessing maybe 5 years old or something, stepping on a honeybee in the yard barefooted and got stung. And so obviously I didn't like them.
Well, it didn't like you either. You probably ended its life there, Coleman.
Yeah, right. Well, we were talking about maybe diseases, and you mentioned pesticides. Is that a problem?
It is a problem, and I think it's more of a problem because people aren't reading the labels properly. Whether it be Roundup or Sevin dust. I particularly, as a beekeeper, don't like those products, but I know people are going to use them. And they have instructions, and I encourage people to read the instructions. And Sevin dust, if you're sprinkling it on a bloom, that dust mimics pollen. So what are they going to do with that? They're going to carry it back and they're going to feed it to their larvae. So they're feeding poison to the hive. So that can cause a problem. Roundup, there's a dandelion. Nobody likes dandelions in their driveway, of course. And so let's say you go out at noon and you spray the dandelion. The dandelion's not going to wilt for a couple hours. So it's still very appealing to a honeybee. So once again, that honeybee's rolling in that poison. So I encourage people, honeybees go in the hive at night. And so if you're wanting to do something like that, I encourage you to read the label, maybe look up some organic ways for pest control. But it does become an issue.
But those insecticides, pesticides are damaging to the honeybee.
And the labels will say that they are damaging to honeybees if you read them.
Well, a word to the wise here, hopefully. Well, one other thing we haven't hardly talked about at all, your marketing. And I mean, I didn't bring you out here to necessarily do a commercial, but I think it's only fair to let you tell people how they can buy honey from you if they'd like.
Yes. I actually would encourage people to come to the Wilson County Fair and see the Wilson County Beekeepers Association and buy honey there, which will be in August. I set up at Oktoberfest usually and sell my honey. Also, I've got some awesome Honeybee Tennessee shirts. They are a donation, and the 100% of the donation goes back to the nonprofit. We'll have those at the fair. We also have got them down at the salon on the square. You can check us out on Facebook, Honeybee Tennessee, and Instagram. I would love.
Well, you have honey to sell right now?
I do not. I know. I brought you a shirt, though, instead. I gave MJ her shirt.
Okay.
Yeah, I did bring you a shirt, but I did not bring honey. I know. I'm a bad person.
But what I meant is, do you have anywhere that's available?
Yeah, not at this moment. I'm in the process of bottling and harvesting.
Okay, so this year's honey crop.
It's in process right now.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah,
okay.
Right.
Right.
They've made it. They've done their job. I got to do my job.
But you sold out of last year's probably long.
Oh yeah, a long time ago. And I try to tell people that when they see me at Oktoberfest and they buy one bottle, and I'm like, That's not going to last long. I'm like, we only harvest once a year. So now my friends have really gotten into that, and they're like, okay, save me 10 bottles. They want to make sure they have enough.
Well, that brings up something else. Is it true almost all over the world that the summertime, July, August, is when the honey is harvested?
Yes.
Then how is it so available year-round in all the grocery stores?
So if you read the label on a lot of that grocery store honey, it's been cut with Karo syrup. Yes, newsflash. It says honey on the label, but if you flip it over, it has ingredients.
Yeah.
There's only one ingredient is honey, and when it's cut with Karo syrup, it's no longer honey. So I encourage people, if you are looking for honey, go to your local farmer's market, find a beekeeper, and buy honey from them.
Okay. All right. I've got one last thing here, and I've just been reminded. I'd forgotten all about this, but you were chosen as the Lebanon-Wilson County Chamber of Commerce Ambassador of the Year.
Yes.
And I like to have as many award winners from the banquet as I can reasonably. And I didn't realize in having you here that I was sort of killing two birds with one stone here. Well, congratulations on that. So I guess you're heavily into the Chamber of Commerce.
I am. I love this town. I love this county. I love to be involved. I try to attend as many ribbon cuttings as I can. I encourage people. We've got a great town, and we've got to be like a beehive and work together. We've got to come together, and the town could be even greater if people just all got along and encouraged other businesses. That's huge, and that's what I like about the chambers, that we're all encouraging each other and referring people. Like I knew Miss Judy and Medina, they're on the ambassador committee with me. So, I encourage people to see them, and I hope they encourage people to see me. So I love the Chamber of Commerce.
Well, Jessica, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
I've enjoyed your visit. We've covered quite a bit of territory here, and congratulations again on